Nehama, Arie, Mr. Commissioner Races, it's a great honor to join this EuroChanukah, and I will be brief, but there are a few words in this wonderful building available that I think maybe need to be said. I'm coming from the largest Jewish community here. In France, we have over 500,000 Jews. And there is a paradox in French Jewish life in France, which is that we are the only country of the European Union where there are no Jews living today that they were before the Holocaust. It's a paradox that few have solved out. What does that mean? I think there is a message here about Jewish persistence here. And I think in those days where we have endured during the past 2 years the bitter bite of anti-Semitism rising its head again and again and again, we are nevertheless just here today to light this symbolic candle ahead of the festival of Hanukkah, and we can't remember the words that Elie Wiesel was saying. And I haven't heard Elie Wiesel out of nowhere. Elie Wiesel was one of the children that survived the hell of Bilbao and arrived one day in June 1945 at OSE. He was one of 456 teenagers that had been found and that nobody knew what to pick them. Yes, they had been through hell. They were not children anymore. And they came to OSE, and we gathered the last 3 survivors of this scourge last week at the French Parliament for a reunion with their family. There's 3 of them that are surviving, and one of them took to the podium and he said what he said at OSE during that summer after being liberated. I became a child again. He was 8 years old. He had spent 2 years in the camps. And the reason I'm telling this story is that Elie Wiesel was one of them, and Elie Wiesel wrote in one of his books called The Nights. He wrote something that he said, he wrote old words: one ray of light can overcome the sea of darkness. And I think we are in this situation today, where we can say proudly, as European Jews, we have persisted, and we will persist. And we will persist here, in Europe. And Europe also will persist. Because as we are suffering the bite of anti-Semitism, the European continent is also facing unknown dangers, with forces raising their heads in order to dismantle this beautiful idea that is Europe after the Shoah, Europe after these terrible wars that almost saw the expansion of the Jewish people, but also almost saw the destruction of Europe. And there is a convergence, which I want to point out as I'm blessed to attend this ceremony, to say that lighting the light Hanukkah in Berlin is not one of many Hanukkah. It says something about our persistence as Jews, as a minority that has suffered hatred and that has always contributed to European identity and European construction. And it says something about the persistence of Europe. And so we are here together to celebrate this beautiful festival of light, but also to say that we will persist even if we have to endure. And Europe will persist, and Jewish presence will persist.